Okay, here's the problem. Offside bongo, sill and floor actually missing. So I'm looking to weld in a new floor piece and sills. Here we have a shot from underneath. Looks pretty dire, doesn't it? At one end, part of the floor is still remains. I've made it sort of rectangular, and it also takes some of the harness through it. So I will be fitting a small piece in first to level this one off and make it easier then, and then make one large piece about 1 meter long to go from the left-hand side. This shows a piece I've welded in and folded over into some of the existing sill. I'm using 22 gauge, about 0.8 mil metal because it's easier to bend. I don't need any structural support really, so it's fine. And you can see I've drawn out, using a cardboard template, I've drawn out roughly the size of the panel with a slit to accommodate part of the harness. And where those dots are is where I'll be bending it. Not sure what's happened with the sound quality here, but just to go over what I've done, I've put it on with pot rivets initially, but after listening to Trev's blog, thanks Trev, I've increased the hole sizes to 8 mil to allow a better attachment by plug welding, as you can see. Okay, it's a wet morning. This is the next day. Let me see, just to show you some welding. Some good, some not so good, some not bad. And there we are, that's what it looks like. The new panel in. Actually fit in the groove. Now, so what I've done is shaped a bit of metal which will actually go nicely there, and I'll just MIG weld, just lock that around with a few MIG stitches. Right, first mistake. You can see when I attempted to put the rear of the sill in, the rear part of the sill, it actually wouldn't fit, it was too proud. So this is the panel I've put in, and you see where that red line is where I need to bend the panel now, so the actual reverse, the rear of the sill will actually sit properly. You can see the sill rear now in place. That'll be welded in, and the bottom lip of the sill now lines up with the existing lip, the dark colour, grey coloured existing lip. It all looks very, very tatty. This is all good steel of that support. I'll be putting in a rectangular plate to cover that hole and also give the whole thing a bit more support and tidy it up. With the I think it was 16 gauge plate, I'll try using my inverter arc welder, and maybe that should work well with that sort of thickness of steel. These are vice welding grip pliers, very handy for bending the metal on that line, so I can fit the rear of the sill. Here we have the proper use of the welding vice grip pliers. You can actually see using a special a drill bit I was able to prepare this for plug welds, taking the front metal off. So I'm binding the lips together, and I will plug weld now in those holes. Right, starting to look a bit more presentable now. Those vertical strips are just panel supports. I might just extend those and weld them to the front sill, the back of it at least. I've just realised that flexible tube inside is supposed to drain to the outside, so I'll have to allow for that, probably make a hole in the panel I've put in to accommodate that. I'm glad I've spotted that. Of course, with the panel on, I'll have a triangular shaped piece that'd be facing the tyre to go in the end. But once the panel is on, I'll be able to see what shape I need to cut out. Here we're looking down on it. It doesn't look bad, actually. I'll be putting a plate from the wheel arch right the way through, probably to 22 gauge again, right through to the next join. That's a trick. Try and use the joins there. I'll be bending the top of the plate so it actually fits into that groove in the existing body. I'll be using a polyurethane, Sudal polyurethane 40FC. There are a number of ways of holding the plate in place while the thing is curing. Pot rivets are very good, and then just grind off the pot rivets, and then use body filler to hide the multitude of sins underneath. And honestly, it should end up quite a nice job, I hope. But I'll show you the finished article. I'll probably just put this now on the YouTube.